What's going on, Falcons fans? Logan here. I know my new haircut makes me look like I'm 15, but I promise your boy is indeed 21. Welcome back to Rise Up Rundown, and if you're new here, welcome. The Atlanta Falcons' new uniforms for 2020 are going to be revealed in April, and as I record this right now, it's March, so the new uniforms are almost here. I'm excited, I hope you are too, and because of the hype, I wanted to make my second video reacting to uniform concepts for the Atlanta Falcons. And just like the last video, none of these are made official from the Atlanta Falcons. They're all fan-made, and they just want us to react to it and tell them what we think about it. And let's just get straight into it right now. I have 7 uniform concepts to show you on this video, and just like my last reaction video towards Falcons uniform concepts, we're going to start from least best to best. So I'm going to show you my least favorite uniform concept on this list, and then I'll show you my favorite, and let me know if you guys agree with my take on all of these, and then let me know what are your personal favorites in the comment section below. But let's get it started with my personal least favorite uniform concept on this list. It would be this one right here, and the reason this one's my least favorite is because, first off, there's way too much red. I mean, the helmet is red, the shoulder pads are red, the gloves are red, the socks are red, the shoes are red. Literally everything is red except for, like, the pants. And the other problem is that it's not even the correct red. Like, the Falcons have a darker red than that, so I'll definitely pass on this one. Then we move on to this one. The logo is absolutely hideous. I mean, if you look at the helmet, it almost looks like the Arizona Cardinals logo. It's just that it's covered in black. And this one is almost like the exact opposite of the last uniform concept I showed you. Instead of too much red, there's too much black. Like, there's barely any red. It's all covered in black, and for some reason there's some gray on there too. Like, the Falcons don't rep gray. I don't know why we would go with this one. The Falcons don't rep gray. I'll definitely pass on that one, and the logo is hideous. Then we move on to this one, and this one is definitely a fan favorite. I feel like a lot of the time on Twitter or wherever I find this, like maybe Instagram, wherever I find this, a lot of people are always like, oh, the Falcons should rep these. This is kind of posted everywhere, but I'm not like the biggest fan of these. To me, there's just not really a lot that changed. The logo, first off, is literally the same exact thing as our old logo. It's just that it's covered in red instead of all black and white. And then the uniforms, to me, don't look any different. It's just that it has red stripes this time. The helmet looks different, I guess. There's just not a whole lot changed with this uniform, so I'll definitely pass. Then we move on to the uniform that kind of reminds me of the Alabama Crimson Tide, simply because on the helmet it doesn't show the logo of the Falcon. It actually just shows the numbers of the jersey. I don't think there's... Is there any team in the NFL that reps numbers on their helmet? I don't think so. Trying to think here. I don't want to spend time thinking about that. Anyway, the Falcons would definitely need to put the logo of the Falcon on their helmet. I don't really want to be reminded of Alabama Crimson Tide because I'm a UGA fan. But anyway, yeah, the jersey is interesting at least. I mean, the number is red, and then the rest of it is black. So, I mean, you know, it's cool. It reminds me of college football, but we're in the NFL, so we definitely should kind of, I guess, you know, do something different. Then we move on to the most average uniform concept I've ever seen in my entire life. It's so average. I mean, the helmet is okay. The shoulder pads are okay. I don't like how the pants are all red. I'm not really a big fan of that. It's too much red, and I think it's too bright of red. If the Falcons repped these, that wouldn't be the end of the world, but I think you can find better uniform concepts than this. Then we move on to this one, and this one's pretty cool. I like this one a lot, because, you know, you have more than just 2 options. You also have a third option where you can rep all red, and there's some noticeable black, kind of like a black helmet. The all black and then some red on the jersey is pretty cool looking. I like the font
of the number they have on there. I think that's pretty cool. And then the road jersey is pretty nice as well. This definitely looks Atlanta Falcon, in my opinion. Like, I feel like the Atlanta Falcons would definitely rep these pretty well. It kind of looks scary too. It looks like the state of Georgia. I think that reps the state of Georgia pretty well. So I would definitely not mind repping these. And then the last one I have on here, this is my personal favorite because they rep gold. And I think the city of Atlanta really, really loves gold. Well, here you go. You have yourself gold uniforms. You have gold numbers, gold pants. You have gold stripes somewhere on the pants and even on the helmet and the shoulder pads. But then you also still have the red and black. Atlanta United is doing this. Atlanta Hawks, I know they have a little bit more of a yellow than they do a gold. But, I mean, here you are with the Falcons repping some type of gold. And I would definitely be okay with it. I don't know, I've never seen the Falcons in gold. We'll just have to see what it looks like in person if they actually do grab gold on their uniforms. I know a lot of people are thinking there's going to be gold on their uniforms, and I think that too. So I definitely wouldn't mind these. And, yeah, that'd be interesting. But sadly, that's actually all I got. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. But let's get to your mailbag questions, starting with Atlanta Falcons. Can you see us bringing back Gabriel or Poe for the right price if it fits our cap space? I can kind of see us bringing back Dontari Poe. I mean, we brought back an old pass rusher like Adrian Claiborne. So we can definitely bring back Dontari Poe. And I do think he would actually kind of be a good fit for the Falcons. Not that Dontari Poe is some elite player or anything, but I think he'd be a good enough player to keep our pass rush in the game, I guess. Taylor Gabriel, I don't know about him. I don't know if he's ever going to go back to the Falcons. Also, can you give my Instagram at Atlanta Falcons Australia a shout out? Rise up, bro. Absolutely. On Instagram, follow at Atlanta Falcons Australia. He posts everything Atlanta Falcons weekly. He will post news about NFL draft players the Falcons fans have their eyes on, or free agents the Falcons fans want to pick up, or he'll also share his favorite memories from the 2019 season, and we can relive them. It's the best Falcons fan page you will ever see on social media, so go follow at Atlanta Falcons Australia right now for weekly Falcons content. Football Films asks, question number 1, what 3 or so, notable Falcons are on their way out this offseason that aren't basically confirmed, such as Freeman and Beasley that aren't basically confirmed? I don't know, because the Falcons don't really, release a lot of players. But I would say Austin Hooper, Vic Beasley, and Devontae Freeman are kind of the big names that we know are probably going to be released. But outside of them, I'm not really sure. The Falcons don't really release any of their players. Devondre Campbell is another player that might be released. Those are probably some names that are probably going to be released. And then question number 2, do you believe in the pattern of 2012? Won divisional, lost conference. 2016, won conference, lost Super Bowl. 2020, okay, yeah, I know what you're saying. It's like an every 4 years type of deal. Well, I will officially believe it if it does officially happen. If the Falcons do good in 2020, then yes, I will believe it. But for right now, yeah, not really sure, man. I don't know if I believe in it. Rise Up ATL asks, who do you think is the greatest and your most favorite player in franchise history other than Julio Jones? Who is the greatest and most favorite player in franchise history other than Julio Jones? Matt Ryan, because he won league MVP, led the team to a Super Bowl, all-time passing yards list. He's number 10 now. I guess I would say Matt Ryan. Can't really think of any other Falcon that would go down in history as one of the best to ever do it. Won't be Devontae Freeman, won't be Vic Beasley. The only other player I can think of that would go down in Falcons history is probably Matt Ryan. Rayan Suisi asks, should we draft a cornerback in the second round? I don't know about the second round, but the third round maybe. I think the second round you focus on O-lineman because I think that's our second biggest need. And then our third biggest need is corner. And the Falcons don't realize that. They are not going to do anything about it. Trust me. They are going to keep who they have in Isaiah Oliver, Kendall Sheffield, Desmond Trufant. They're going to keep their corners. But to me, they should definitely consider drafting one, at least in the third round. Maybe the second if O-line is kind of easy to get. Not in the second round, if I'm making any sense. Ghost Peppers asks, Orlando Ledbetter said there's no money to do much in free agency when it comes to getting a decent defensive end. And because of that reason, he thinks the Falcons should address the defensive end position through a trade-up in this year's draft to get Chase Young. Julio Jones type of trade. I say hell to the no. With too many holes to fill with limited cap space the next 2 years, the plan sounds ridiculous by Orlando Ledbetter. If any trade should occur, I think it would be wise to trade back and get more picks instead. What are your thoughts? I'm gonna be honest, I wouldn't really mind either or. Like, I wouldn't really mind if the Falcons stay put where they're at and maybe get AJ Epinesa or Kinlaw. I'm probably going to have a film breakdown on him Friday. I would not want to have Caleb on Chasen. I'm not high on him. So you can maybe try and find someone decent at number 16. Or you can get Chase Young to where hopefully Chase Young is that prospect to where he's good enough to change the whole game. I mean, it happens all the time. Like, Nick Bosa was the second overall pick, and he changed the 49ers. J.J. Watt, just that one pick the Texans made change the whole defense. So maybe Chase Young is good. He's just really good to change the whole defense. Now, the Falcons wouldn't really have enough money or whatever to do anything else to their roster, but I don't know if there's a whole lot of problems on the roster anyway. Because I think we have a lot of talent to work with, and they all have the same chemistry, I guess, that they want to fight for Dan Quinn. So, I definitely see what you're saying, but I don't really think there's a whole lot of holes to fix anyway. I think it's really just in pass rush. Now, O-line and secondary is a problem, but pass rush is the only big glaring hole for the Falcons. That's like the only issue where it's like, okay, we just gotta get this done. So, definitely see what you're saying. I wouldn't really mind either or, but, yeah, we'll just see what happens. Ghost Peppers also asked, realistically, who should the Falcons target in NFL draft and free agency? Who's affordable, I should say, that can help make our defense more physical and nasty? Well, I did mention Dontari Poe. I can see the Falcons picking him back up. Who else? Robert Quinn, maybe. Maybe they get Bruce Irvin back. I don't know. I don't think Bruce Irvin's any good anymore. I think he's out of his prime. But I guess Dontari Poe and Robert Quinn. I don't know. The Falcons don't pick up anyone in free agency because Thomas Dimitroff is stubborn as hell. But I guess those are the players that the Falcons should target in free agency. But guess what? They're not going to because the Falcons are stubborn and they think the pass rush they have now is going to work. Stupid Thomas Dimitroff. Anyway, Jaden107 asks, how do you feel about there being 7 teams now in the NFL playoffs, even though it's not official? That's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. I thought the NFL playoffs is good where it's at now. I mean, it probably makes the playoffs even easier for teams to get in now. So if the Falcons went 7-9, you know, there's an easier chance for us to get in the playoffs now that they're adding more teams. Yay. Not that we deserve a playoff spot at 7-9. But anyway, yeah, I don't like the rule, but it's just, you gotta work with it, I guess. But hopefully they change it after the first year. Speed Falcons for Life asks, which Falcon game are you attending to next year? I might go to the Cowboys game or Chargers game. As of right now, I'm not attending any Falcons games. It's just hella expensive, and I will try and save up, but There's a lot of projects I also kind of want to get done over the fall, so it's not looking too good money-wise for me, at least for the fall, because I want to get a lot of things done. But, I mean, I would not complain if I got tickets to a Falcons game. But as of right now, I don't think I'll be going to one. If there's any game that I want to go to, I really want to see a Falcons and Saints game. I've never seen a Falcons and Saints game. I've seen Falcons and Panthers, and I've seen Falcons and Eagles. But the Falcons and Saints is a big, big rivalry. I would kill to see it, but hopefully one day, maybe even 2020, I will watch that game. But yeah, as of right now, I don't have any games to attend. Mondo Torre asks, do you watch baseball? If so, who's your favorite team, and how do you feel about them this season? Go Braves. With basketball and baseball, I'm not necessarily die hard on it. Like, I don't really know, like, point A to Z. I don't know every single player on the Atlanta Braves. I don't know every single player on the Washington Nationals, even though they won the World Series. Heck, I don't even know any players on the Nationals, to be honest with you. But if I could choose one team to root for, it would be the Atlanta Braves because, well, the Atlanta Falcons are my favorite NFL team. So the Atlanta Braves would be my favorite, but I'm not necessarily, die hard on baseball or basketball. I just kind of watch it for fun. Shane Elliott asks, do you think the Falcons should trade up the draft and get Chase Young in an all-in move to try to get to the Super Bowl and also get Robert Quinn in free agency to go along with Young and also help develop Young as well? Sure. I think if you get Robert Quinn, the veteran, he could teach not only Chase Young, but he could teach Grady Jarrett, who's already really good. You can make him even better. And then get Tech McKinley's ass involved. Anyway, I'm getting tired of Tech McKinley. Yeah, I would not mind that. Yeah, you'd kind of risk trying to help the rest of the roster, but like I said earlier, the roster doesn't have any big glaring holes except for pass rush. And Thomas Dimitroff is starting to almost make it clear that he will trade up. We'll just see where that goes, but yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that. And should they do that, I guess why not? You have nothing to lose. If all else, if they don't do good next year, okay, just rebuild, But anyway, Rise Up Beatdown asks, do you think we are making the playoffs? Well, it's Dan Quinn, so unfortunately I'm going to have to say no. Yeah, not a big believer in Quinn just yet. Ruben Falcon asks, do you think Oliver will do better next season? Unfortunately, not really. I don't think Isaiah Oliver is going to do all that good. He showed flashes. And hey, even if Isaiah Oliver doesn't do good, you can always get Kendall Sheffield to step up, and he was alright as well. But yeah, if Isaiah Oliver does better, he can do better, but that doesn't necessarily mean he does good. But yeah, I don't necessarily think Isaiah Oliver is ever going to be the player we want him to be, but that's just my take. Floyd Donnelly says, we need 4 picks, all defense, with the first and second in the fourth. Okay, so in other words, he just wants defense. And I don't blame you. I think defense is a big issue. The only issue on offense is O-line. Yeah, running back is an issue, but let's be honest with ourselves. Nothing is going to fix the running back situation as long as Dirk Cutter is there. So it's not necessarily the offensive players that need to be fixed. It's the offensive coordinator. But anyway, the defense, the players are kind of a problem. We have no pass rush. The secondary is okay. Devondre Campbell is gone, so we maybe could actually use a linebacker. But I wouldn't necessarily freak out about linebacker. But yeah, we should definitely try and improve the defense. And at Dominic Roseberry asks, would you rather have me as offensive coordinator if Cutter is released? I could provide way better pass and run plays. Absolutely, go for it. The Falcons are hiring, I hope. Dirk Cutter is an absolute joke, so go for it, man. Dirk Cutter is getting on everyone's nerves. Literally, anyone can do better than Dirk Cutter. A toddler could do better than Dirk Cutter. Everyone does better than Dirk Cutter. So go ahead, man. I'm rooting for you. I know you got this. You will take us back to the Super Bowl. You'll be much better than Kyle Shanahan. And literally, Dirk Cutter is one of the worst offensive coordinators I've ever seen in Falcons history. So, yeah, go ahead, man. But that's all I got. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys with a video this Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern. As always, rise up.